Hello, this is Gabriel and Icon of the Gulf Global Consulting, the charity for medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology. Um, Today's a good day. I'm alive, I'm healthy, and I'm presenting my weekly webinar like I always do to many of my listeners out there, people who follow my channel or also my social network. I always do this pretty much every Saturday. I don't know, it's just something above or something. Uh, or God was making this thing happen. I don't know, but it's only God who knows how He do these things. Okay, so the point is that we, as people of God, we should value life. We should be able to understand other people. I was listening, I have a very great experience yesterday, because since days now I'm a scientist. I reason as a scientist. I am not religious. I am somebody who believe in God, who have a personal relationship with God. I consider God closer to me. Jesus Christ closer to me, and His government in heaven closer to me. So yesterday I have a very good experience. Like every single night, day now, I have Jesus Christ because I made a channel with Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ, I'm gonna pray. I don't make you be omnipresent. I mean, you're gonna have to be here every day. So this is a different way of praying. I am not saying Jesus Christ, I need this, I need that, I said it. I just want you to be there so you can explain to me, you can fortify my knowledge. I need knowledge and wisdom. I need knowledge and wisdom. See, I need knowledge and wisdom. I need knowledge and wisdom because when you have knowledge and wisdom, money come after, wealth come after, women come after, all these things will come. So I don't have that focus on the thing that people pray for because God already know what you're going through more than you. You know exactly. You know exactly what you don't know as the etiology of your problems. So now, epistemology wise, it is important that I have that personal intimacy with Jesus Christ. Every single one when God sent Him. So we communicate through thought. That's the technology that is in heaven. So the point is, it's very advanced and stuff. Now, I wanted to start with something that is very bizarre, but very, very interesting. And Jesus Christ has pinpointed as well. I was watching a TV show. It's called the Late Night Show, and I was watching, and there was a lady there that I think she's a star in this world, um, and then through God purpose, she arrived where she arrived, whatever support she received on earth, that was all God will, and she was going into the Late Show on Channel 12, and she was sitting there. Just an example. I like to take example like that, practical example. And the guy, the host of the show asked her, how do you got in touch um, with Alex Rodriguez? I think her name is Jello. So she said she was not shy. She was very direct. And I don't watch those shows a lot because I'm more focused on my learning and stuff. But sometimes I like to watch it to be out of the dimension in which I operate. And then she was very. You're talking about somebody who have a wealth of about $3 million with investment and many other things. She's probably half of a billion. So Alice Rodriguez the same. They pretty much have the same kind of wealth. But the way she answered, she said, "Well, The guy asked, well, does she ask you for date or something like that? She said, no. I came and tapped him on the shoulder and I said, hi. You see, this is two people who have wealth. I mean, when I say wealth, I'm not in their level. Um, but they don't have the kind of problems that 95% of American people have. Okay? So they have moral problems. They can have problems that are fit, things that God put into them. That's it. But all the small society problems, they don't have that in their dimension, level of wealth. So, but you see how simple as they become and wise in our society. People who don't even have anything, they believe that a male always have to go ask you for a date. If you're interested to a male or you're interested to a female, make your heart known and move forward. The only two answers you're gonna get is a no or is a yes. That's it. It doesn't make you be smaller or inferior. It is this thing. I don't know why people, and you're gonna see most of the people who do all these things are people in a very low level of the society. I mean 95%. They they don't have anything, but they value themselves more than who they are. But I can see how somebody say, well, pretty much what she was saying, I am the one who went first to ask him. And she didn't say it that way, but it's a metaphor. She said hi, and then the guy said, all right, so let's start talking. And have a dinner or something. And that's what it is. But most of you, you have nothing. You don't have anything, you know, to bring in a table, on a table, but you think that you're too important. And that's what I understand about people in society. I say, what is wrong with you? You have 5.5 billion women around the world, and you have 2.7 billion men. So the ratio is about 3 to 1, pretty much. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody gonna act crazy about those ratio numbers, but it also brings a point that don't overestimate who you are. Don't overestimate. Don't also underestimate too much yourself. Be in between. You love somebody, go and speak. Speak your heart. Free yourself. Either you're a man or a woman. That was a very good point she made. Those are people who have the money. You there, you have two jobs, you working, you have a paycheck, you think that you're already there. What, you're already there? You paying taxes and working for people who are playing golf, who are taking vacations, making money in the yacht, somewhere in the Pacific. You there, you building yourself and working. You don't even have a mental health like they do. They stay there in the boat in the yard and call the girlfriend and wife and all these things. They surrounded with good things. You there, you have a picture, you think that you're already there. It is, for me, slavery mentality. We need to grow. I can have my $1, and I'm confident that it is not the money that define me. It is the character and the knowledge I have that will define me. Every single person started with nothing or a lot. Okay, you have the story of Donald Trump, our president. His mother is from Scotland, his father from Germany. The root is still there. The guy didn't came here with millions of dollars. He came here with a dream of real estate. The guy want to do real estate. Okay, so he did real estate. He's sticking his vision. He said, this is what I want to do. And that's what he did. It took years to succeed that. I mean, to see success into that. Do you believe that he left too many to the actual president? I believe that the president took it into a different level. He looked for the right support. He have the right people around him in a different dimension, and he moved forward. That's what it is. You don't believe you're somebody because of the paycheck you have, because of the money you have. The example that Jello showed on the 12 on channel 12, I'm not a supporter. I wish I should update her, but you know, I'm somebody who speak the truth. I speak what is right, you know, regardless of what it is. My ambition is too high. I want people to know that. I just don't talk about it. I don't like to talk about it, but I like to prove to people how faithful I am into what I believe. Because of what I saw on TV, I have determined. When I saw her do what she did, I said, okay, this is what I would do. I will also be somebody in that category in a society. Then I will see how people will treat me. Because if I pray to God, who is my God, I see him for knowledge and wisdom. He will give me just that. I don't ask God for money. I don't ask God to solve my situation right now. The reason why is because I have too much faith that I know that God knows my situation before I was even born. So there's no reason to waste his time into talking things that he already knew. So I focus on glorifying him and asking him for things that he know that we should be asking. Knowledge and wisdom is the power of tomorrow. If God can give me the knowledge and wisdom I need, I will be in Silicon Valley, #1 top company with new form of biotechnologies that will transform the world. I mean, the world of medicine. Can you see what I'm coming here? When you ask God for knowledge and wisdom, everything else will follow. In those days now, everybody is asking, give me this and give me that. I don't pray that. I don't pray like that. It's a false kind of way of praying. You are telling God what he already knows. By respect, you're wasting his time. And you're wasting your time. You have to go into Hosanna, Hallelujah. Hosanna means say it now. And Hallelujah means praise you, God. It means I Hosanna, Hallelujah. It means I say praise you, God. The point with people misconfusion about faith. To model what I said, determine what I will achieve, and I said, well, I will be like that. God don't have a problem when people set up their goal, as long as your heart is in the right direction according to the teaching of Jesus Christ. The expression of your character is a deterministic of the state of your heart. The state of your heart determines how you express your behavior. Your facial expression do not linearly determine the state of your heart. That's why God look people's heart instead of their appearance. But in our society, they have cheat people to look people into their expression to see how good or bad they are. No, their heart determines the person. Anything else is a distraction. Now, I say then I will be in their level as well. Because what I'm building with the company I have, with the education I'm pursuing, is to build a framework, support mechanism that will help me build that company to serve God in a different way. People can serve God in different ways. If God is the one who created science, you can serve God in science. If God is the one who created biology, you can serve God in biology. And He's the one who created all these things. People have arrogance where they're not supposed to have arrogance. I can have arrogance when you look down on me because I have to protect my birthright. But if I wanted to be a friend of yours, I'm going to speak to you. It's exactly what she did. And I saw it and I said, this is very good. Because this is an example on how people should not be ashamed of who they are. She didn't say she was ashamed. But in our society, that's what people think. And I say to people, Gabriel Ndako, I will never force any relationship with people. I will never do that. Because I know that God have already designed my pathway. I mean, people that are supposed to meet will come naturally. The natural process is the easiest process. Somebody don't have to do a lot of work. Everything come easily in your path. And when things come easily in your path, it stick with you, synchronize with you, work with you, and make you grow. When you force relationship with people, it will not synchronize with you. It will not make you grow. It will create problems in your life. That's why you have to be patient in that regard. Faith is a very important point. Jesus Christ wanted me to talk about faith today because people have a lot of faith in our society. A lot of faith. I will give you example, over example, over example, and I'll bring my story forth. I've appointed before the same kind of webinar talking about faith, but today it will be a different perspective of the definition and illustration and denotation of faith. Faith is the connection from one dimension to another. This is general definition. Faith is looking ahead in the future so that by looking in reverse, everything will make sense. That is also a generic definition. Many also define faith as the substance of things that are unknown are the evidence of things yet to come. This is about there. But the true practical definition of faith is the invisible connection between the material world and the spiritual world. That's what faith is. And Jesus wants me to be very precise in this. Faith is the connection, the invisible connection between the material world and the spiritual world. Now, if you have a phone, a cell phone, you don't see what connect two different phones. But the only thing you know is that if you dial a number, you can reach a person that is even 10,000 miles away from you because of the connection, invisible connection between frequencies of wave that express the communication line. The invisible, they are waves, radios, active waves. So they communicate, interfacing, synchronizing, interfacing, synchronizing, and the message goes on. In a matter of seconds, you don't see those lines, but you know there's a connection. It is the same thing with faith. The difference is faith connects you from a physical world to the invisible world. We don't have that technology like that. Our phone that we have is only in the spiritual world. But faith is the connection from spiritual world to the material world, or vice versa, material world to the physical, to the spiritual world. From our standpoint of view, from here, from earth, from space. Now, the action of praying is like handling your phone in your hand. The action of praying is like having a phone in your hand and dialing. When you take an action of praying, it's like you have a phone in your hand. Now, when you start talking, it's like you're dialing a number. And then when you start communicating, it's like you making a call. Now, what's going to happen is, if your faith is not strong enough, the person in the other end will not understand you correctly. Now you see where I'm going. If your faith is not strong enough, the line will not be strong enough to connect you from this physical world to the spiritual world. Many of you, or many of us, pray, but the communication with God is not good because the faith is not there. People pray, but God could not get the signal correctly because they're lacking faith. There's no connection. The connection is about there, about good, average, above average, a little bit strong, and then strong. That's what it is. So people are there, they're dialing a number, they have a phone, but they can make calls. Or they have a phone, they make call, but the call don't go through because the line is not strong enough. You never stay on the phone when somebody says, I can't hear you well. Now I'm in a place where it's not good connection. The connection is not good. It's clouded by evil things. It's clouded by jealousy. It's clouded by envy. It's clouded by revenge. It's clouded by unforgiveness. It's clouded by being part of conspiracies. It's clouded by being part of the world system. It's clouded by doing evil things. Faith is not strong enough. So people are praying, but the signal, the prayer don't get to the heaven. Some of the prayer don't even get to the heaven because there's not even a faith. People don't even have faith at all. So the prayer is stay where they are. If you have a phone and there's not line, you didn't purchase a line, you can make call as you want. You're never going to go anywhere. You're going to stay on your phone. So how to purchase faith? How can you purchase faith like you purchase a line? You must stop being revengeful to people. You must start doing good. You must start treating other people the way you want to be treated. It is a very important point. You must start treating others the way you want to be treated. You must stop being part of conspired things. You must not fornicate. You must not steal. You should not lie about somebody. You should not bear false witness about somebody. You should not conspire against somebody. You should not commit adultery. You should not kill. You should not steal. You should not bear false witnesses or defame somebody's character and name. You should not lie about somebody. Those are the things that you should avoid in order for you to purchase good faith. It's a practical way of teaching this. Practical. I will give you a simple example that Jesus Christ wanted me to give you. When Jesus Christ was walking over the water, the sea water, he said to Peter, Peter, come. Peter, come. Peter, have faith. But Peter started walking over water and start focusing on the problems. Some of you know I can't do this because if I do this, I'm going to lose my job. I can't be part of this guy, I know, but I'll look bad. I have to be part of this conspiracy because that's what everybody does. Focusing on problems. You focus on problems instead of focusing on the right thing, the thing of Jesus Christ, the thing of God. When Peter stopped focusing on Jesus Christ and start focusing on the storm, he started going down. Because the connection was not there anymore. What connect him with Jesus Christ was that platform, that invisible connection. Start going down. So he lost it. He started drowning. So what did Jesus Christ say? The Bible said, Jesus Christ came and said, Peter, with your lot of faith. Many of you wanted to reach Jesus Christ. Many of you want to be part of Jesus Christ's agenda, but you have a lot of faith. You don't have faith. Many people judge me in the community. Many people think that I do magic. Many people run away from me. Many people think I kill. Many people think I do something bad. No, it's because I have faith. I believe in nothing. And God put my focus on George Washington. Because I say to God, I want you to prove to the people who are wicked in the spirit that you are the God of Abraham, the God of Jesus Christ. He said, I'll prove to you. But God always express himself to people in a different way. So he started focusing my mind into George Washington. Now, the story of George Washington, because he doesn't want people to think that I'm too biblical. He wants me to bring an example that is very practical, who made this country. This is why Jesus Christ focused my mind into. He wants people to know. How do you build faith? How do you want to have a future that you always deserve, you want always dream of? George Washington used to be a soldier, an officer. He was an high rank, he was a lieutenant at the Army Rouge. The United Kingdom, the British Army. Then he decided not to serve the king anymore. So you can know if you decide not to serve the king, you become problematic. Everybody gonna run away from you because the right thing to do is serve the king. Some of you are here saying that's how you do things here. If somebody don't do like you do, you work $9 an hour, you go and work and stretch yourself, and somebody is doing something wrong. Now George Washington said, I don't want to serve that king anymore. I believe in what they're doing. I lost trust into the legitimacy. So I'm going to function independently from them. So he opened a company that made material, handmade material, for farmers, for military people to come and purchase. But they were taxing too much money. And that money was not used to build the town in which they were living. So it was going back into the UK. So he said, it doesn't make sense anymore. This is, no. We have to create our own country here, where the taxes will be paid, and we're going to build this country, this place. That's how it started. Jesus Christ put in the focus. Because many people are claiming American dream. You know nothing about America. Now, the revolution started. They have to be killed. All of them must be arrested. This is the mandate from the king of the British Empire at the time. Either you protect it or you're not. He have to form an army. It means in order to get to him, he have to form those people, because he was once a high rank officer. So he knew. So he raise a campaign, find support mechanism, a support framework that will synchronize with his idea. And his idea worked well because many people supported it. Now we have to build here. We can keep paying taxes and keep going back over there. And we live here, we don't have road, because he came from where? He came from where the city was, and he came to a place where there was no road. There was no decent things. So he wanted to build the same thing like over there. But yeah. Now, the point is this. You got to have courage to stand in what you believe in and be able to pay the price. Where's your faith? Why are you judging somebody who have more faith than you? Because you believe that you are the only one who can go farther? No, God created us different. Some of us will go farther and stop. Others will go farther and farther and stop. Others will go farther and stop. Others will go farther and stop. That's how God put it. So George Washington, General George Washington, now have his army of settlers. Enemy number one of the most powerful nation of the world at the time, United Kingdom, battling the world, the number one position in the world with France. Now, there was God, Jesus Christ focused my mind into one thing. There was many battles. There was one single battle, one single moment that Jesus Christ wanted me to know, to focus on. And I didn't know exactly the reason why. That moment was during the winter. You know, winter is a bad moment. It's not a moment where you want to be in position that will make you ask yourself why you choose this decision. So this is George Washington going along with his army. They reached a level, point where the British have cut off all the supply road. So we're gonna starve these people. When we starve them, they're gonna give up their ambition. The government have cut off financing to Gabriel and Daikon. They don't want Gabriel and Daikon to, the system don't want Gabriel and Daikon to have anything. And people start wandering around. What faith do you have? Where's your faith, people? Where's your faith? This is George Washington, cut off of all supplies. He have an army who look on him. He's the one who made the decision. He made the decision, and people are looking into him and say, what can we do now? General, we don't have any food. We need something to eat. So now the general don't have any supply. He's saying the supply are coming, but the road are cut off. The road are cut off. They have to survive. What can they eat? They don't have anything to eat. Some of them start dying. So they came up with an idea to cook their shoes, because their shoes was made of animal part. So if they cook those shoes, it become like an eatable food. So they start eating it. They start eating their shoes. Can you imagine? If God can show you how people have sacrificed themselves for this country, and you see how people are treating other people, they start eating their own shoes. That day, Jesus Christ told me it was the turning point of God giving blessing to this nation. Many people talk about many turning points, but that is what Jesus Christ focused on me. That was the turning point. God do things different than we do. What we call turning point are not the real turning point. The turning point always happen in a shadow, where people don't have any focus, because it must be secret in order for that to work. So during that time, George Washington prayed. He prayed and he asked God to help him into this situation, and he will make this nation a Christian nation. That day was the creation of the United States. Because of faith, because of people willing to sacrifice themselves, eating their own shoes, to believe and say, we're going to die into what we believe. We don't going to serve that master anymore. We want our freedom and independence. Even if we have to eat the dust, we're gonna eat it. When you pray like that with something in a plate and you bring it before God, your sacrifice, you have something God can work with. Many of you pray with nothing on a plate. You have sacrificed nothing. But you want God to give you things that you didn't work for. It took years. It took years. But what was already granted in heaven was already granted. Many sacrifice and difficulty, all the challenges came along. But it all worked in a favor of the settler, the 13th state, because it was already granted during that time. And the French, God, they didn't know that the French can come to help them. But God touched the heart of the king and he allowed them to bring the army. That's how God functions. That's how God functions. You have the French was pretty much like Russia today, and the United States was like England. They were two powerful nations. But the French didn't want them to have the United States because they fell there earlier. So they said, okay, let's by positive consequence. And the deal was that Benjamin Franklin did was that if that worked, you guys going to be the one building our capital. So you see how Benjamin Franklin was also a very good politician. So the capital, Washington, was built by a French engineer, the one who built the Eiffel Tower. If you even look the way it's built like Paris from satellite. From the satellite point, you see it's built like Paris, the way it's built. So that's how you can stand and you can declare that I will succeed. So when I finish all of that, Jesus can focus my mind again on when George Washington was President Washington, George Washington, in the White House at the time, in House of President in Pennsylvania, looking back during that time, seeing how things have changed a little bit, and Jesus Christ said, as I made that possible, I can make that possible for you. It doesn't mean that he said that you're going to create a nation, but based on your situation, it is exactly what I will do. You asked me to show you a proof. That was a proof. So see how God do things. The proof is where you live. People walk around. They don't know what faith is. I'm pretty sure many people should have said that maybe. I can assure you there's certain British people who thought that maybe George Washington was somebody else. Because how did they survive? All of that. It's the same thing. If you lost faith in people, you're missing the point. Without faith, there's nothing you can do. Without faith, there's nothing you can do. It's so vital. It is a vital point, having faith. You got to have faith in order for you to advance. And I keep my faith intact. I keep my faith intact. There's no such thing like being late when you have faith. You can still succeed. You can still advance into what God has designed for you. So what is the point saying these things? Why do I'm saying these things? Because when things look like there is no result, there is no change, many people lose faith. They lose hope. They think, well, maybe this guy tried something, it didn't work. Maybe it never gonna work. Everything that God designed for a person that will last for generation never come at once. It takes years. Sometimes it takes even 50 years. Sometimes it takes even 100 years before it can ever happen. This movement that I started, as a person who decide not to be nothing into the society, not only gonna affect me, but it will affect all my generations. And that's how God works. Now, when God start answering you, He's answering you according to how He designed your genealogy. It means even your generation after you. If that was not true, why do God always refer to the land that I promised to Abraham, to Jacob? Why does He gonna say that to Moses? Why does He gonna say that to Yeshua? Why is He gonna say that to David? Because what God promised never change. It stayed. So when looking back, you realize you have to know God answered people of faith according to how it will affect His generation. Many of you are going through hard time, but you want God to solve your problem now. But solving your problem now might affect your generation in a way that it might disturb God's order. So God will say, wait. There are different ways God functions with us. Sometimes you can pray for the right thing at the wrong time. For example, I'll give example here. Sometimes you can pray for the right thing at the wrong time. Example, you have a bad car. You have a bad car. You have a very bad car. And you want God to give you a new car, to help you have a new car. But the kind of car you want, your income cannot support that car in the long run. You might think that, well, I can handle this for a year, but you don't know what's going to happen after 1 year. After 1 year, you might lose your job. So God might make sure that it never happens, that you don't get the kind of car you're looking for, because He knows that tomorrow or 1 year or 2 years from now, you might lose your job and you will not be able to pay that car monthly. So He said no. And people get angry. You might be looking for something that you're supposed to have, but not at the time you're asking. Like I say, asking for the right thing at the wrong time. You might be saying, okay, I want to marry that girl over there. I want that J-Lo over there. God knows that you cannot support the kind of life she have at this point. So he said no. He said no. Now, you can ask for the wrong thing at the right time. People are going to say, what? You can ask for the wrong thing at the right time. It means that the time is there for you to get the blessing, but you ask for the wrong thing. For example, I take the car again. God wants you to have a car because He knows that the car that you had is the wrong one. But because you make a little bit of money, you want to have a Mercedes Benz. That is more than half of what you make. That is asking for the wrong thing at the right time. God wants you to have the car, but not that kind of car. Another example, you make good money, but you're asking God for a wife. But because you make good money, you start looking for women that are so expensive to you, thinking that you can handle it. But you don't know tomorrow. Now, God wants you to have a wife because you're asking for that thing. It's the right time for you to have a wife. But you're asking for the wrong one. And you get a wife. And she suck you up. The next time you know, you almost broke. That is asking for the wrong thing at the right time. Now, you can ask for the right thing at the right time. And every time you ask the right thing at the right time, that is God time. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. For example, when President Trump said, I am running for president, when President Trump was a little boy, he prayed that God should lift him up to be somebody, and he will help people, and he will make sure that he do the right thing for God. If God can one day make him president of this nation, he will lead people. He prayed like that. I don't know him, but God told me. He was young when he prayed that. He was asking for the right thing because it was in his pathway, but it was not the time yet. But he was not in his prayer. He was asking for that to happen in the future. So when he said, I'm running for president, that was declaring the right thing at the right time. It was for him. You are always going to have it. Now, you can ask for the wrong thing at the wrong time. Mean that God is not time for you to have it. But you want to have it. But by even asking what you want to have is the wrong thing you're asking. For example, you wanted to open a business. You wanted to have capital for your business. You have waited too much years, like 15 years. Maybe you have to go talk to Abraham, how long he waited for God, 75 years. Then you will understand. Now, I hope people understand the reason why they have to be patient with me as well. Now, you are saying God to give you a capital of $1 million. When God sees the time you're asking the money is not the right time, because the energy that favor the growth of your business is not favorable for it. It's not favorable. So you don't have a good wind coming from the spiritual world for what you're asking for. So it's the wrong time. Now, the amount you're asking, you will not be able to repay it at the time that you believe you're gonna pay. Because God knows that in your pathway something gonna happen that will make you not able to pay it like you signed initially. So that is the wrong thing at the wrong time. And many of us pray like that. Many of us think like that. Think all those things in our brain and all these things without having focus on Jesus Christ to give us wisdom in order to discern what I just mentioned. Right thing at the right time. Right thing, wrong time. Wrong thing, right time. And wrong thing, wrong time. Those are the four type of requests when people pray. There's no other type. Those are the four. And the only time God gonna answer you is when you ask for the right thing at the right time. Any other ones, right thing, wrong time, wrong thing, right time, and wrong thing, wrong time, God will say no to it. Why? Because when God works in people's life, there are two parameters that God always consider. The time is one, and the amount and the type of thing He wants to give you. You don't decide what you're going to receive. God decide. You don't decide the time in which you're going to receive. God decide. Those are the two parameters we don't know. So that's why the right thing and time, I'm keep talking about this thing, because these things depend on God. God decide the amount of the thing you're asking for. You don't decide. You're gonna be somebody, oh, well, I work so hard, I got this deal of $1 million. Well, you didn't work so hard. You work so hard than who? There are many people who work harder than you. They don't even make the penny of what you just made. It was given to you by God for a reason. Well, I made some good deal in my life, I made some good deal, I'm a hard worker, When I saw JLo talking about, she said, I started, as a dancer, but, and I look at her and I say, why you guys always avoid God? She was not the only dancer. I was a kid. I was born in the 80s, but I knew those things. There were many people dancing like her. Why she's the one who went so far? Because she was chosen by God for that purpose. People always avoid God. Many people can start something, but not everybody gonna reach the level that they desire. We can all go see Lucifer if we want for success. Only few will be accepted. Because what we are missing in this earth is this. Every request that you make to Lucifer, go to God. And God have to say yes or no to it. That's something we're missing. That's the reason why everybody can declare, I will be successful in this world. I will do everything I can do. My friend, you speaking with emotion. If it's not the desire of God, you're wasting your time and your breath. It will never gonna happen. Even if you go see Lucifer, Lucifer will come back and say, it can happen. We can do it. I can get you in. I'm sorry. You're gonna ask him. If you ask him more and more, he will say, your God say no. So go. That's what he's gonna tell you. Don't bother me. You not belong to here. That's what he's gonna tell you. So not everybody will succeed the way they desire. It's all depend on God. I'm talking practically because this word is the word of evil. This was the word of evil. So those who are successful that we see there, they're choosing. They're choosing to reach that level. Regardless of what pathway they have chosen to be. God have said yes to it. God have control over the devil, and God have control over all of us. No one doubted. You can go and make sacrifice as you wish to the devil. It doesn't matter. If God say that's not my will, it's not his will, it will not work. It will not work. I just look people and say, people, you got to have faith. Build up your faith. Build up your faith so that you can have a strong connection. Every day I experience Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, I can even I sent a long letter to President Trump. And I said to President Trump, ask the Air Force to stop the conspiracy against me. I am not the only one who have served this country. Yes, they didn't agree with me because I'm a man who stand for the right thing and who speak for God. If I see things that are not correct, I don't care if it's a general who is before me or a captain or whatever, I'll tell you the way I see things right fit before God. But even into that belief, I never disrespect anyone. But I'm just telling them they didn't like the way I did my things because I came before them to Congress. I went to Congress to complain and things. So they get peace. They got peace. Because many of them got hit. So the point is I did the right thing. So if they want to challenge me, they have to do the way I did. If there are people who have courage, they have to go to Congress and come in daylight. I went to Congress. Why do you believe that Steve Chabot don't want to go further with this problem? Because there's many big fish into this. People in the Pentagon, from the Air Force. So he stepped back on my problems. So I'm asking to this president, Donald Trump, that I don't need his support. What I need is to ask people to give me the opportunity that I deserve. and ask the Air Force people from Dayton to Washington, wherever they are, onto the Pentagon, to stop what they're doing. Stop the sabotage that they're doing, that they've been working on. There's no need for it. There's no reason for it. They have to release all the information that they have from me into the army accordingly. And stop saying things that they cannot vouch just because they want to sabotage somebody. It is not the way they should do things. If somebody outsmarts you, in certain point you become his friend. There's no reason why they're going to continue to sabotage me and telling false stuff that they can prove. Today, the army is asking them for documentation. They don't want to release it. Why they don't want to release it? Because they don't want me to advance. They don't want me to move forward. That's exactly what they're doing. But asking, I mean, I only served for like 3 years or something. They're asking for a documentation. I didn't even 3 years or something. I don't have a big things. They have to release it. And the president of the United States is the head of all these things. You have to watch it. I wrote you a lot of letters. I said to the president, I speak to God directly. I speak to Jesus Christ. When I am alone, I don't even think that somebody can be close to where I am. When God start manifesting around me, they're going to run away. That's the kind of level that I reach. I reach the level where I need people who wrote the Bible to come and explain to me what they wrote there. That is the request that I put in heaven right now. I said to them, I want you to start coming and revealing to me what is written in this Bible, because many people don't understand it. And I want to be able to understand it. Then I want you guys to come and explain it to me. That's the challenge I put in. I'm not in this lower level anymore. So when I see the people, when I speak and open my mouth, it is a truth. God said people who knows me should not be afraid of my presence. Because I always worry. I don't know when God's going to start manifesting around me. His energy is something powerful. He's going to go around and people are going to be like afraid. And he said, no. People who knows me should not be afraid of me. So those who are afraid are people who don't know me. That's pretty much what God is saying. With Jesus Christ. Where is faith? What is faith? I don't know where people lack faith. I made my decision. Like George Washington made a decision. The system want me to be a nobody. And I said to the system, no, I'll be somebody. I make my decision. I am responsible for the price to pay for my decision. If that price requires me to eat beans and rice, I'll eat beans and rice. If that price requires me to have $1 and depend on the dollar, I'll have $1. I don't care of the thing of now. I care of the thing of tomorrow. Many of you are more concerned about what can I make now? What can I make now? What can I make now? You never think about tomorrow? That everything that you're working for can fall down and then your generation have nothing? With all the kid that Abraham had, all the kid that he had, and all the women he had, God said to him, I love your children that you already have. But excuse me, Abraham, there is one that is coming that will make you the father of nation. And then Abraham looked God and said, come on, God, I have plenty of kids. And Abraham had to wait 75 years to have that baby that God was talking about, Isaac. So why are you guys worried about the thing of now? That you want thing now. I need to make thing now. Taking family now. I need to have this now. God don't function like that. God don't function like that. So, can somebody tell me one of the kids of Abraham beside Isaac that he made with other women? I mean, beside Isaac and Ishmael? No, because they are not part of the story. So when God is working on somebody, God knows what he's doing. People should not be questioning these things. I want to have family. I want to have kids. But it is not my plan. It is God's plan. And God time. Like I told you again, requests with God have to deal with two parameters. The time and the amount of what you're asking for. The amount of what you're asking for. It is, if it is the right thing at the wrong time, you're going to have to wait for the right time so that the right thing can be at the right time. Because when the right time meet, you will look in reverse and you will see that everything is making sense up to the point of that shifting moment. Up to the point of the shifting moment. And when God time comes, right thing at the right time, everything merge. It will solve all the problems that you have in the past. It will not give you the time you have wasted. Well, let me reframe the time wasted. It's not truly a time wasted. It will not give you back the time past, but it will give you what you're supposed to have during that past time. You will have it. God cannot retrospect the time and give you that time, but he will give you the thing that you're supposed to have during that time. Is that great? I think it's great. If you've been asking God to make you a millionaire 25 years ago, and God made you a millionaire, a multi-millionaire at the age of 35 years after, so what is the difference? Do you think that you could have made that kind of money within that time by yourself? Gaming, not possible. So there is no such a thing like wasting time with God. Everything have a purpose and everything have a meaning. Everything have a meaning. People should know there is a season that they call the chrono season. The chrono season is the season in which the time is clocking and ticking as you go into the waiting period. And there is a shifting moment that is the time of God. Many of us want God to give them things, but we can't work for the thing we're asking for. And we start looking for other people's success. Do I care about other people's success? I don't. What I care more is I need opportunity to be open for me because I know who I am. If those people have achieved those things, I can achieve those things as well. Things that are in me, waiting for me. So I don't have to envy somebody else because the power is given from within. God have given us the power from within. When you recognize that the power is inside, the power is not external thing. The power is not the sacrificing things and giving things, all these external things. You will succeed. The power is inside. The faith that I mentioned is built inside. It's not external. An example. When Elijah was praying with the 400 prophets, the 400 prophets were like today's generation. When everybody come on YouTube and say whatever they gotta say, God has spoken to me, I am a prophet of God, on all of that. And Elijah was not considered. So the king, the queen, hire all those prophets that are well known, 400 of them come up. And Elijah was not even considered. Because, you got a lot of prophets out there who making big money, people from churches, pastor this, pastor that, priest of this, So they came. They have the same prayer. The same prayer. But those 400 people together, they couldn't meet the level of faith that Elijah had. They had the telephone. They knew the number. They knew the name of the person they're supposed to pray to call. God, Jesus Christ, God. At the time he was God. But there was no connection. There was no connection. So the message didn't reach the heaven. They didn't have enough faith. So the message stayed within them. It didn't even went above the cloud. Some of you blame God over there, when actually you are the one to blame. I've been praying, but nothing is happening. It's because you have no faith. There's no connection. Those prophets were part of the system. They were corrupted. Corruption reduces your faith. Being part of conspiracy reduces your faith. Many of them, they knew what the system was doing to Elijah. So it reduces your faith. But when Elijah prayed, it didn't even take half of the time those people prayed. Rain came down because the connection was strong enough for God to hear the message of his child, of his follower, of his ambassador on earth. God, it is Elijah praying. We already know the frequency. You don't even have to say the frequency. Sometimes you don't even have to say your name. When you pray, just by praying, God already knows you. Because every single one of us have a portal. A portal. Like they call it the heaven gateway that connect us. It is an invisible pathway from the physical world. It connects us into the heaven. So when we pray, that's where everything goes. It get there loud. And everybody, because everybody is connected to this, to the super consciousness. Therefore, by thought, they can retrieve what people play here on earth. So it get over there and water and rain start pouring down. People are lacking faith. Why people are lacking faith? You're waiting for the shifting moment of God. You have to be able to to see, to seed good fruits so that you can reap good harvest. You cannot be reaping. You cannot be reaping or seeding or sowing bad things and expect to reap good things. You can go in the ground and put apple seed and expect to receive mango seed, mango fruits. Just doesn't happen unless there is a corruption in between. But the normal process, that's not it. You can put mango seed there and expect to reap pineapple. You put mango seed, you're gonna get mango fruits. You put banana seed, you're gonna get banana fruits. That's what you're gonna get. It's the same thing for our life. You seed evil things, you're gonna receive evil fruits. So when the chronic time, when the shifting time of God show up, it is what we're gonna get. That's the reason why even in my difficult time, I try to do my best to do good. Because it is a chronic time where the time is clicking, waiting for the shifting moment. How much are you investing into that shifting moment? How much are you investing? Should invest big. We have to be people who not only speak about God, but people who can testify to the truth that they have experienced God and they know God. God is not far, He's close. He's very close. He's listening to what I'm saying. Jesus Christ is listening to what I'm saying. The Holy Spirit is listening to what I'm saying. It is not difficult to follow God through Jesus Christ. I see many people that claim to be busy. There is something very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. There is a woman that I know, when she was running for office, she came to see me. Well, out of millions of people, she came to see me. I don't think it was a coincidence. I think she was pinpointed by God's heart to come and talk to me. She said she was running for an office. That if I can pass the message along. And I did in my point. I did. And I even called her and then we spoke. Yes, I will pass the message. She became a counselor, city council. Then one day I decided to go and say hi to her. But she didn't want to meet with me because she sees me as a person that she cannot connect because of the reputation I have. So she was afraid that she might lose her support. I speak the truth. She was afraid. And I understood. She was afraid that if she connect with me, maybe she don't gonna receive a lot of vote as a candidate for mayor. Jesus Christ was with me. And I left. She didn't say this thing to me, but Jesus Christ read her heart and told me what was the situation. So this is what happened during the election. In a history of the primary in Cincinnati, less than 10% of people voted. And because she was chosen to be in that race, she was part of the people who advanced. You see, God don't respond by anger, but he answers. So because you rejected Gabriel and Daikon, you will see how people will distance themselves from the time you're going to want people. They say in history it never happened. It never happened. Less than 10%. Even myself, I was very surprised. And when they say less than 10%, it reminds me when God was talking to Abraham and say, if I find less than 10 people who are righteous in that city, I will not destroy it. This is God talking. People might neglect me, but God don't neglect me. If you unrighteously deny me, you are denying Jesus Christ as well, because Jesus Christ lives in me and God in me, the Holy Spirit in me. And God knows how to answer. Less than 10 people. People have to know whether you disagree with somebody or you believe that you're already there. There's nobody who's already there. We all need Jesus Christ and God at a certain point to advance. And sometimes God will come in a small door. He will come to an unexpected person, through an unexpected person that you didn't even think. And you will not open the door to that person. Because we all want Jesus Christ to show up. No, Jesus Christ said, if you love me, you will treat other people the way you want to be treated. then you will see me through them. I love people, but I say I can talk to you because I can spend too much time with you because I don't see any commonality. But I never disrespect people if they approach me. When she came in, and Jesus Christ brought me back to the beginning and said, okay, when she came and see you from the beginning, she was just somebody looking to advance. She didn't have no title at the time. Will you reject her or you took time to talk to her? Trust me, when she came to see me, I just finished running 26.2 miles. I was exhausted. So I should have a reason and say, well, God, I was exhausted to talk to her. But I talked to her. Jesus Christ reminded me of that time. But I spoke to her after running 22.6 miles. I was there to listen. So you see, it's important to treat people well. Treat people well. And I said to her, maybe you knew of me, but I'm not the same kind of person you think I am. Many people believe I'm not. I walk in the spiritual world now, and I function in the spiritual realm as I advance. It is necessary, these things. These things are necessary to see and know the spiritual realm, how the spiritual world function. Without the spiritual world, our world would never exist. As a result, all our problems, all our challenges start in the spiritual world. You cannot have kids. It's because in the spiritual world you have been blocked. Like the situation that I have of advancing professionally, I know it is not people. It was done in the spiritual world. And God is the one who accepted it to be done that way. Because only Him knows how things work at the end. And I know at the end it will work in my favor if I keep faith in God's plan. So my problem is not the people that want me to be sick. It's not the people who don't want to open opportunity to me. It is the spiritual force, the evil force in it that are doing those things who are blocked the energy, the beneficial energy to reach me. That's what they're doing. So every single time people don't understand the center of our spirit is in our gut. That's the reason why God chose that specific region for a baby to grow in a woman. Okay? That region is very essential. That region is very essential. 50% of the cardiac output of the blood reside in our gut area. 50%. You're talking about the renal system is part of that area. I'm talking about the overall under the diaphragm and above the rectum. That area have 50% I can even say 55 because the coronary is also part of the cardiovascular system, which is part of it, are there. So you have 5% there, 25 for the renal, gastrointestinal, that's 25, that's 55. That's 55. You have 15 for the cerebral, the brain, and you have 5 for for the skin, and you have 25% for the musculoskeletal system. So it's 55. 55% of the blood, of the cardiac output blood, is in that area of the gut. That is where the center of the spirit, the center of our spirit is located. Like this, like our heart is right here, but for the spirit is in the gut. That's where most of the energy, beneficial energy, penetrate. It's very important. If your gut is saturated with harmful chemical that are luciferic, that are evil, it will block entrances of beneficial energy. That's why people put poison and toxin in my food, because the devil knows what he's doing. If the devil can affect the physical aspect of my gut, it will also at the same time, because see, the spiritual is the foundation of what hold the physical. So if the physical is affected, it will also affect the function of the spirit and even affect the spirit structure as well. So when the energy comes, it's not beneficial, and people wonder why I don't have all this moving forward. It's because the devil knows what he's doing. When the devil make you put toxin and poison in my food, because he knows that. Well, so people go to church. I don't understand. You got to be 12. You have to read. You have to search for knowledge. Understand these things. When the Bible says the devil is a liar, people just think that he's gonna come and no, he's doing things that he know you were never gonna find out because you're ignorant. That's what God is saying is a liar. The devil will never gonna come to you with something, with a trick that he know you know. He will come with a trick that he know you will never gonna find out until after you suffer. Unless God is in you to make you discern it. If God is not, you will suffer and then you find out. So the gut is important. And it's one of the reasons, like I mentioned, God chose that area for the growth of the baby, because it is a very spiritual area. Most of the vital centers are in that area. And many beneficial energy coming from our solar system penetrate from there. Penetrate there. Financial energy, uh, marital energy, many beneficial things that we're supposed to have in our lives. If that place is blocked, you don't gonna be able to receive it well, and things will not go well for you in your life. So I'm dealing with a lot of challenge in the spiritual world, and I have to be extremely spiritual, extremely, so I can fight that battle the way it is. So many of your problems are spiritual. When people go to church and say you need to know your battle is not against flesh and blood, but it's against this and that. So, well, okay, God, you understand what you're talking about. Yes, that's true, but you must know what you're talking about. It's not easy to say that. People are evil. When the devil uses you to do something, it's because your spirit is weak. And when your spirit is weak, most likely your flesh will be weak. But your flesh can be weak, but the spirit strong. If you decide so. If you decide so. So when people accept the devil to penetrate their thought and penetrate their heart to do evil things, yes, it is not against flesh and blood because people are ignorant. People are ignorant. But it is men who perpetrate those actions. You see how Lucifer's work in this world? That's how it work. He express evil to your own to do his dirty work. So when people minister that, it's not against flesh and blood, yeah, that's true, but you got to know that, you have to know it's difficult. That, you understand that the man who just did it, but because that man have a weak spirit. Because when you have a strong spirit, the devil will flee away from you. He cannot penetrate you. Your spirit is protected. God is in you. That's what I mean. And that's why you see Jesus Christ say, these people who are living the life the way they lived, if they knew me, they should not live their life like that. Because many people don't know Jesus Christ. But they claim that they do. They claim they do. Many go to church. They are religious. They're counting the number of times they went to church. I do this, I do that. You got to know God is there waiting for you for a personal relationship. It doesn't matter how many times you go to church. You can be religious and still not in connection with God. God didn't create religion. You have to understand that. God didn't create religion. I can speak to you with clarity and justification even in the Bible. God put in place a doctrine that can teach people how to be in personal relationship with Him. That is written from the beginning of Genesis in the Garden of Eden. It is written, it's very clear. It's telling you how God was visiting Adam every single time. There was no place where that you see, well, there was a house called like the church today where Adam was going to pray and God was showing up. There was a sacrifice to be made, all this thing. There's no such thing like that. God allowed religion. He allowed religion because religion was proposed to him by Lucifer. So he allowed religion. Why he allowed religion? As the Spirit of God revealed this truth to me, he allowed religion because it will work for him. It will work in his favor at the end. It will work in his favor at the end. When Lucifer's intention of creating religion is to blind people from building an effective relationship with God, God is saying, yes, it might work, but for only those who are weak in the spirit. Because when people go to church, when people do those religious things, they think that they are in relationship with God. And that's exactly the intended plan of Lucifer, proposing that petition before the throne of God. And people stick into religion and they stay there and say, no, I do this, I do that, I go to church every Sunday, I do this, I do that, but no, I know God. No, you don't. You don't. And that's exactly what Lucifer, when he worked like that, he said that it worked. It's good. Now, the point is this, the religion is bad. If it was very bad, God would not accept it. Okay? So it is something that have good and bad on it. It is up to people to know religion is a society thing. As still have to build my personal relationship with God. That's why you see many people, they go to church on Sunday. When you see them out of church, they are different phase of kind of people. They cannot open the door to somebody. They don't know how to greet somebody. They become me and me alone and me only. And they're waiting for Sunday. In their mind, I'm going to confess for all my sins so God can wipe me out so I can go back the next week and do the same thing again, and then come back the next Sunday and things gonna be fine. Well, I'm entering the house of God. God is saying nothing. It means that it's okay. What do you want God to say? The God didn't put the spirit of truth in your mind that make you discern what is wrong and right? You take a gun and try to shoot somebody, and you tell me that there was no spirit who said to you, don't do that. There is a spirit who's going to tell you, don't do that. It's not the right choice. God put the spirit of discern in our body that will always tell us this is wrong or this is right. But our conscience, our human nature mind of experimentation and questioning reject it most of the time because we want to please the flesh. If somebody slap you, the reaction of a human flesh is to slap back. But the spirit will say, hold on. The flesh by default is revenge. The spirit is forgiveness. That's how God coded the spirit. But the flesh can be in commensuration with the spirit if our mind is focused and set into God. Then when somebody slap you, your mind send a signal to the spirit, say, forgive, I'm forgiving. It's not the spirit, the subconscious who's going to send a signal into your conscious and say, forgive. And your subconscious said, no, I will not forgive this. And your conscious said, I will not forgive this. That is the natural mind. The natural mind of the man is set into the flesh. And the flesh reacts as flesh. Now, if you synchronize, if you focus on God and Jesus Christ and He lives in you, it means that when you have something that happened, you're not going to seek revenge. You're going to seek forgiveness. And that is part of something that fortifies your faith. If your heart is not good, it doesn't matter how many times you pray. It's not worth it. It will go nowhere. It's like having a telephone with a bad signal. Very, very bad signal. No luck to reach the other person. Your heart must be cleansed in order for your faith to be strong. If your heart is not cleansed, your faith will be weak and your connection with the heaven will be weak as well. Because you cannot lie the heart. When you go to heaven one day with your soul, let me explain to you. Because Jesus Christ wanted me, He repeated to me, I forgot this in previous presentation. The spirit is what gives you life. Your soul is what represents your genome in a spiritual world. It is also part of your spirit. It's connected to your spirit. It's of the spirit. Therefore, you can be caught up in heaven with your soul will being alive, because your soul can transcend from this dimension to the other dimension, and your spirit is still in you so you can continue to breathe. That's why many people who are in a coma, they are alive, but the soul is not there. The soul is already in the other world. When they come back, they start telling you things that they saw. It's because they can still be alive in a weak flesh. Because the weak flesh is what makes them not be responsive to things. But the spirit is alive in them. That's why they're still alive. But the soul is in a other world, experiencing the reality of that world. It can be going to hell a little bit and coming back out and going back to heaven and going to different places. So when your soul will one day reach the heaven, you realize that in heaven you cannot lie. You cannot lie because your mind and your heart is one. It means you cannot manipulate what is in your heart. Here we can lie because there is that veil that separates the spirit that is in us and the flesh. There's a veil. It's like a blockage. So we can manipulate the truth. But in heaven, you will be forced to say the truth. You're going to try to manipulate it, but the truth just going to come out. It is the first instinct that all of us have when we get there because we don't know, but I'm telling you now. So get prepared. We have that instinct of trying to manipulate. When God will ask you, do you commit adultery or fornication? You're going to look God and say, no, I can't say this before God, man. It's too bad. I can't say this before God. I have to say, well, I got it. And then the truth just going to come out, yes. Because it is, you cannot, there's no veil. The truth going to come out, yes. And if you try to lie, God going to put things that will show exactly what you were doing. Fornicating with different men and say, liar, 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 liar. I mean, you're going to show that. It is true. You cannot lie. That's why your heart must be in good condition with God. It must be good condition. We have a lot of people, a lot of girls, a lot of men that commit fornication. Fornication is a sin before God. It doesn't work today with one man, you have to go to the next one. It doesn't work today with one girl, you have to go to the next one. That's fornication. That can lead you into hell. That will lead you into hell. You have to know that. So you can see the way I live my life. It's not because I can have girlfriends. It's not because I can have the woman I want. That's why it comes back to what I say. You can be asking for the right thing at the wrong time. No, God knows I need a woman to form a family. He knows. It's the right thing, but it's just not the right time. Because if it was the right time, I should have had it. So that's obvious. It's just the way it is. It's very obvious. That's why you, in the society where people promote girlfriend, people promote sex, you all gonna end up in hell. I'm sorry to tell you this truth. This is true. I have to say this. When you have God inside of you, just the truth just come out. It's just the way it is. People don't know how to wait anymore, how to be patient anymore. They value sex. Sex become like a gold. I'm gonna say something very funny, and I was around women, and I see them cover the private area. I ask the question: how did the society became so transgress against the law of God? Why do you have that kind of negative mentality in your brain? Why do you believe somebody you are you aggress? What do somebody gonna take away from that without touching you? I mean, I don't know that kind of science. I'm not in that level yet. And even if it was in that level, I don't do those kind of things. Because that will make me depart from God. You have to know these things. So I was talking to Jesus Christ today about 30 minutes, and then I said, well, why this area? Why do you manifest more now? Why not before? He said to me, before you were a lady man, you have a lot of women. So too much sex. So too much sex is a lot of negative energy. You depart away from God. So God is there, but He will not express the way that I am expressing today, because today you are more disciplined. And you are walking in the image in which God wants to see. That's why God manifests more, and your faith is not weak like it was before. Because yes, you had faith, but the connection was not good, because it was a little bit corrupted by the other side of you that you had in the past. Right? So you have to know that yes, you can ask God, God, you send us here to have pleasure. But why are you still interfering with us like that? Yes, God wants you to have pleasure. You can have pleasure with one woman that you love, one man that you love, right? Well, if you don't like her, you can divorce and get to the one that you want, right? Well, I'm not making fun of President Trump, but President Trump proved it that it worked. If you don't like somebody moving forward, you think that the person will not work along with what you believe in, you divorce. That's one plan. God don't recommend divorce, but if you believe that somebody will interfere with your birthright, with what you believe you have to achieve in this world, you divorce the person. God will not be mad at it. If God was mad, God should have been mad at Trump and not give him what he gave him. Well, truth, right? So you have to know that it is a choice we make. It is a choice we make. There's always a solution to every problems. There's always a good solution. That's what it is. There's nothing wrong. People can say something, well, he only think about himself. But you will realize that there was a point where you refuse to be humble, to comprehend the vision of the other person. That's why what happened. That's what it is. We have to believe in the work of God. God have the ability of shortening our lives. He have the ability of calling us home earlier if He want. But it's up to us to walk with Him. One thing that Jesus Christ want me to clarify to men: God is for everyone. But His trust in us is yet to be proven by our kind of life we live in here, type of life we live in. It is a open opportunity. It is an equal opportunity for all of us. God don't favor one to another. God don't do that. Even if the Bible have mentioned it, it is how people have interpreted. But people got favor in the eyes of God based on what they have invested for him. Because it's equal opportunity. It's equal opportunity. Who work, who earn. Who don't work, who not earn. Equal opportunity, right? Now, if you don't spend time with God, do the thing that he teach, why do you expect that he gonna favor you? People call it favor, but it's not favor. If you spend more time with God, you are sacrificing time that many people do to watch some movies or some series on TVs, some show on TVs, or going and do whatever they want to do, but you spend that time with God. Now, when God start manifesting in your life, people will start saying, well, God is favoring him. God is not favoring anyone. It's equal opportunity. Many people are more concerned about this word. I have to work. I have to work. I have to work. Many people came before us. They worked hard, but they came back to the conclusion there's not happiness to it. Many people came in this world, they think that they are the only one who started working hard. They're the only one who created what the job is. That they work hard. God will come later. I just have to work. I got to live my life. I got to go and go to the party and I got to drinks and I got to enjoy my life, man. This thing, God gonna come later. Many have done that. They came back to the conclusion that it's not worth it. So what are you proving? There's nothing new. It's better to say, I am weak. I am not fit right now to do those things. And I hope that God help me to develop that kind of faith so I can start doing those things. It's truthful to say that. Because many people, it's just weak spirit. It's weak spirit. I can assure you. You have to have Jesus Christ live in you to correct you. Jesus Christ have to live in us. Trust me. If Jesus Christ don't live in us, we will be unsatisfying humankind or human being forever. Why? Because if Jesus Christ don't live in you and God give you what you always wanted, if God give you the woman that you always dream to have, I can assure you, you will become unsatisfied of that woman in a matter of time. Within a time, you're going to be like, nah, I want something else. Unless Jesus Christ is in you, you always going to have that thirst. That's the reason why Jesus Christ said, come to me, all of you who are thirsty. He was not talking about drinking water. People, you need to start inviting the Holy Spirit in your house and the people who wrote that Bible in your house so they can start explaining to you those things in your house. If God give you the money that you want, you always dream of having, I can assure you, at a certain point, you're going to ask God for more. Trust me. If God give you $1 billion, there are people who are going to start asking God for $1 trillion. I can assure you today, when you look people who are billionaire, they are not looking to be multi-billionaire. They are looking to reach the trillion. People who are millionaire today, they are not looking to be multi-millionaire, only to stay there. They want to be billionaire. That's how we are as human beings. People who are making thousands of dollars, they want to be millionaire. And when they become a millionaire, first of all, for the first time, it's very exciting. And then when they stay there, they become bored. Oh, now I need to have billions so I can start doing this thing. Maybe I'm going to start going to the moon. You know? Now, when they become billionaire, they start saying, well, maybe we need to start investing something that will bring us into other galaxy. Now we need more billion. Never satisfied. People have, okay, I need a jet like this. I need a jet that is like that. At a certain point, they no satisfaction. And they say, you know what? Let me start driving my old car that I have, and then I just model it. You see, that's why many of those rich people, they drive small cars, sometimes well-adjusted car, because they have done all of these things. But for some reason, it seems like people in a lower level, 95%, they don't understand that. They have a lot of paycheck. Oh, well, I need a big car. A lot of couple of $100,000. I need to now go to vacation every single time, and they don't. They end up broke, and they end up going after monthly paycheck, even if they're making thousands of dollars a month, because Jesus Christ is not in their lives. Men will never have complete satisfaction beside Jesus Christ. That's why the Bible was very clear. And Jesus Christ said, come to me, all of you who are thirsty, and I will give you everlasting water, everlasting. You will never be thirsty again. That's what it meant. That is a spiritual, in a spirit, when somebody gives you water and he say it is forever, it means I give you the thirst of your flesh. That's what it means. The thirst of the flesh is this: if you have one woman today, you will be tempted to have two, and then after two you'll be tempted to have three. This is a normal process. The Bible never mistake about anything. They don't make mistake. Everything they wrote down is completely true. There is a thirst into the flesh. Everything that we want aside Jesus Christ will always bring us into unsatisfaction. And we're going to ask for more and more and more, because Jesus Christ is not there in our lives. That's why you see those people who are wealthy, the time they want to become God, and they start doing things, and and then they don't find satisfaction. They start getting into drugs so they can move into that illusion world. Maybe they think they can find satisfaction there, and they come back to reality. They keep doing it, and then when they're a certain age, they say, well, Jesus Christ. It is just difficult to deal with the flesh when it comes into the truth. The truth is Jesus Christ. I can assure you, my friend, I tell you, they give you everything. If God have given us everything we wanted, it will be killing us. It will be truly killing us. Trust me, we will not learn nothing. We will not be able to discern good and bad. If God have given us everything just like this, with this kind of circumstances where we don't have any angel around us to guide us, it will be a complete mess. You're going to have people here saying that I don't want you to build your house close to my house. You got to go 10 miles because I have money than you. You're going to have people saying, well, you cannot park your car here because I purchased this entire place. Go park your car over there because you're going to have people like that. This is a thing that God saw, God oversaw. Because our flesh is by nature unsatisfied. We are unsatisfied. We 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 are human beings who need somebody to save us from that dust. Is Jesus Christ. Is Jesus Christ. And God will always focus our ideas. There's so far we can go. And because of that as well, we'll be unsatisfied. Only to Jesus Christ that we can reach that level. To cure cancer, to cure disease that are very challenging for our evolution, for our progress into our civilization. Our focus is limited. Our focus is limited, trust me. Why our focus is too limited is because Jesus Christ is not in our mind, our lives, when we process things. We do things because we want to do things. Besides Jesus Christ, we plan things. We can plan things if we want. But only God knows what is ahead, the future. We can plan, but we cannot affirm our plan with 100%. Only God can affirm it. From the beginning. Our society needs a lot of work. Because Jesus Christ will return soon, and I don't know if people are ready to receive him. Our world gonna go into a peaceful season. This world will go into a peaceful season. It is what Jesus Christ told me. This world gonna go into a peaceful season. There will be peace. There will be complete peace. For a period of time. But because of that peace, people might or will become blinded. That there is something very simple that will occur that will generate war. Very simple. That will generate war. It will generate war. And many people will really lose their life after that peaceful season that have already started. And many big events gonna happen within the next 7 years. We will have the new state of Palestine and Israel. There will be a deal. Well, I say that forth because it's already written in heaven. It cannot be changed. People of Israel will be proposed the temple to be built in West Jerusalem. And in West Jerusalem will be established the U.S. Embassy. When the temple will be proposed to them, they will comply with the two-state solution because it is what they want. They want peace. And there will be peace. But the two-state will be formulated in a certain way that they have to live like one because of the interconnectivity and complexity on how those states are within the territory that they all cover. They have to live like one. They will accept it. And because of that, there will be peace. When people will see the temple built, you have to start counting the return of Christ. But the temple will be built. It is already planned, actually, to be built. But it cannot be built until the two-state solution is implemented so that they can know, they can confirm where the temple has to be built. Because East Jerusalem will be the capital of the state of Palestine. And the West gonna go into Israel. But they're gonna have to live as one in order to truly have peace because of the complexity of the position of the area of each state in that region. Why do I talk about this? Because the destiny of this world depends on Israel and Palestine. Trust me, it's very funny. But God don't choose a tribe out of nowhere. That's who God is. He's eternal God. I mean, when you make a choice, that choice is going to affect everybody. God is not unlike us, man. You have to understand, He's the one who created all of these things. So, every time that you read the Bible or the Psalm, it's always something at the end. May God be, peace be in Israel. Peace be in Israel. In all the Psalms. Why that? But why not peace be in America, where America was not in existence? Let's say a country that existed before. Peace be, peace be in Egypt. Why is not like that? Or peace be in Babylon. Or peace be in the Philistine, because Philistine existed when David was writing those poems. Why Israel? Because the destiny of this world depend on how things gonna go in Israel. Things gonna go in Israel. That's not what it is. I want to talk a little bit about what Jesus Christ showed me about my throne. The dream that Jesus Christ showed me before the first primary in France, many people will support my throne. Many people in the world. Many. But the reason why they will support Macron is because they will be blinded. I'm not against him, but I'm speaking here for Jesus Christ and God. When that dream came, many people, they were like sand. They will support him. And that is how the world is. When the candidate come from the world system, Macron is a product of the global system. Manufacture and prepare for it. I pray that the French people discern that very quick. Otherwise, they will be crying like babies. The world system going to take over. They miss here in America. They miss here in America because evangelists, people start praying and God manifested, and the person that they wanted elected, who was Hillary Clinton, with all the respect I have for her, she was the system, the global system candidate. And whatever you're going to say about Trump, Trump was not the global system candidate. You have to understand, in the word of power. God made us different. So even in a world of power, there are differences because people are different. You have to understand that Trump came even as part of that system. He didn't have the same ideology that the system in power had. So he have to work himself into that level, put his own money, and build it by himself. I mean, we never seen so far in our generation a candidate taking $88 million out of his own pocket and invest it in a campaign that he doesn't even know if he's gonna win. It is called giving something to God to work with. Even if he was playing, God can plan you to achieve something, but your action can delay that or avoid it. Your action can void the blessing of God. I mean, God can say you'll be president, but if you lack faith, you can miss it. So Trump came from nowhere, I can say. They didn't saw him like that. In the system, he's considered as a businessman, have nothing to do with politics. So there was no way. But like God created us, he knows us well than everybody else. He have different plans. It's the same thing with Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron is a product of the system, and they have blinded the French people. Now that they know that they have missed year in America, they have to fabricate one in France. They have to put one in France because it's very important that they have the globalist individual there. And if the implementation, he will be there, he will be nominated because he have many people who support him. And God showed me that vision before everything else happened. That many people will support him. And on TV, everybody was just supporting him. I pledged my support to him. Even President Obama supported him. But I have that vision long before even the primary. You see? So I wanted to tell you, he is a fake candidate. He's fake. I support him for his courage, for the skill and talent he have. But the devil knows how to use talent in people. He's a young man that the global system have seen, and they start preparing him. They prepare him for power. They prepare him to shine at the right time. Spiritually as physically, because he have that skill. And he's where he is. And how come somebody gonna come and tell you he worked for banker? Like somebody come and tell you I used to work for Wall Street. It's the same thing. And he leave Wall Street and he go and work for the president that you guys don't want to see. You didn't even vote for. You didn't even vote for his party. And he decided to quit his position as the financial minister, like the Secretary of Commerce and Economy, and say, I'm going to run for president. And you simply believe that it have nothing to do with the system. You want to know somebody who have nothing to do with the system? You talk about somebody like Trump. He never run for no office. He came from nowhere. He was just a businessman. Even if there are different sections into the globalist system, he was not into the political section. He was in the economic section, the growth section. He have nothing to do with politics. So he was not counted to do that. That is what you call independent person. But that guy is not independent. What is presenting is not the truth. They think that thing gonna change? It will not if he's elected. Now, if Marine Le Pen is elected, thing gonna change. Because she's not part of the system. Matter of fact, she's running the same kind of campaign as Trump. She's running the same type of campaign as Trump. But if people don't pray, she might not be elected. But people have to pray. In France, if the French people, no, the French people have to pray. It is the president they want to elect. Now, other people will pray but will not have a big effect. They have to pray because it concerns them. So God can give them a wisdom of discernment. Otherwise, I promise you, 3 years from now, you'll be saying, well, we thought that you were a centrist candidate. What happened? Yes, it's a centrist candidate who talk the best from the right and the best from the left. I mean, he is a centrist. He talk the best from the Republican, the best from the Democrat. What do you believe? If you look very close, I mean, it's still part of the system, right? But you guys didn't vote for neither one. You voted for a centrist and a far right. You mean a far Republican, a nationalist. So you didn't want all those other parties. But somebody say he have the best from both and have nothing to do with them. But maybe unfortunately, because they hate Marine Le Pen, well, they supported him. They supported him just because they hate Marine Le Pen? No. Somehow, the ideology is not really different. It's about governance, man. It's about governance. It's not about Marine Le Pen and him. It's about governance. Why they don't want the system to go away. If Marine Le Pen come, it will be the same kind of issue like here with Trump. People will march. They don't do the same thing they did to Trump. Marching. Paying people to go and march. And they know that if she win, she might also have a chance to win the parliamentary election in June. So it will be authoritarian. So you got to understand this scope here. Politics is politics. I always say politics is complexity in deals. Okay? Politics is complexity in deals. You can just come and say, well, this is the deal, I'm done. Go out. No, you got to deal with somebody banana, we think differently. Somebody apple, we think differently. Somebody need of pineapple. Somebody payback of mangoes and all these things. That's why it's complex. It's not easy. That's why it's not simple. Because you're dealing with a situation that was in place before you were even born. You cannot pass that thing over there because back then we still own them $100 million because of what they did over there. Well, man, now what? This is what I want to do now. Yeah, you can't do it now because we still own them something from 100 years ago. God damn it, what can I do now? We got to negotiate with them. It's just how politics is complex. That's why certain things don't get done. You know, you put people over there, they start becoming older and that kind of thing. Because it is how complex it is. Like you can be your partner. You see, man, now I'm going out now. I'm going out. But as a president, you can't do that. No, Mister, you can't go out. You gotta stay here like this. So you can imagine it is a complexity in deals. It's just something that many people are not wired by nature. So they have to create other things to balance their mental health so that they can reduce that aging process and still be healthy. It is normal. Like me, sometimes I gotta get a haircut of a place where people are sometimes ignorant of things and go to different nature so I can see different things. Sometimes I just wanted to go and wash just like the water do because you just have to do that. Because some people are sometimes difficult to even observe. Okay? If people are difficult to observe, only to observe, I mean, there's no way you can even live around. So sometimes you can just go and watch a bird because the bird don't have the mentality, I gonna get him, unless you have an ego with angry. Well, so at least you can do that. You have to be able to balance things, getting close to God to discern. The way I discern things today is because beside the flesh that I have, it is not easy. We have to know it's not easy to walk with God because of our flesh thirst. It's not easy to walk with God for that reason. But it is also very clear to state that it is an open opportunity to grow, to nurture, and to make sacrifice that will be beneficial for life to grow. No crucifix, no sacrifice, life, no progress. We should learn how to live a crucifix kind of lives. We sacrifice for the glory of God. That's what we should do. That's why my company is intended with the nothing that I have, with the lot of support I have. I look all the historical books, including the Living Bible. Everybody who became successful started with nothing only than ideas. And what led them into success is not truly the support mechanism, but it is the perseverance to pursue the idea. It is what made them successful. Because even if you have a support mechanism, you're still going to face challenge. So at the end, it comes back to who will persevere. So I can be convinced that today I can even state, despite the difficulty, if I persevere, I know that I will have the outcome that I always dream of having. It will not be because of the dream. It will be because of the work I put on my dream to reach my dream. And the invisible support of God through Jesus Christ to my effort. That's what will bring some spices into the soup so it can taste good. So you have good products. You have a good outcome. You can smile. So this is a part of revelation that I put in there, and we must start getting ourselves ready to receive Jesus Christ. He will certainly return. And there will be a time when things gonna go fast. Many events gonna happen so fast. People are already talking about building taxi airplanes. These are things that the Bible talk about. Taxi airplane. People are already talking about building a bio device that will make men live longer, forever. People are already talking about creating technology to communicate by thought. So those things are already, I'm talking about people are already working on that in laboratories. I'm not talking about it's abstract. It is already implemented. As I speak, people are working on it. So we're getting there. So without further ado, I would like to thank you for listening. I always do my video in average of 2 hours and 36. That's why when you deal with God, you talk with God, there's too much to share. God is not a God of God. I came in, I'm here, and I have to go into the bar, and I have a friend waiting for me. And, God, I'm hungry. I'll talk to you later. God, I have my key to go and pick up. So you think that God gave you the keys, and you know better how to protect kids than God? Come on, folks. When actually you go to church and you say, I have to put God first in everything. When it comes to somebody like your kid, like, nah, I can't put God in this. I stay to pray 5 minutes and my kid is out there. I don't know. God, that's why it comes in place. That when you say you have to put God first, you don't tempt God. God will always test you in a way that you are not ready for, so that you can prove what you state. That's how God always get us. Many people come and chant, if this happened to me, this is how I'm going to react. I'm a person of faith. God will put you in a situation where you will question your faith. Why do you believe Peter denied Jesus Christ? Because it was already written that he would do it. Because that's who we are. We say things, but when it comes into reality, we deny it. That's what it is. It is so important. Many people are saying, oh, I am a Christian. I am a person in faith. When the Bible says there will be a one-world government, one word everything. When those people start coming in your door and start knocking and say, are you a Christian? Like those terrorists used to be doing. They come like that and say, are you a Christian? And you know that if you say I'm a Christian, you will be shot. Will you say I'm a Christian? So that's the kind of question you have to ask yourself when you talk about God and faith. It's not the easy things. As always, I will speak the truth because God is in me through Jesus Christ and He lives in me, and I know I will pray for my enemy because I know that they don't even know what they're doing. People who try to hurt me, they don't know what they're doing. They think they do, like we always do. But God is ahead of all things. Thank you very much, and I wish that you guys have a very good weekend. I mean, maybe God be with you. You have to build a personal relationship with God. And know that regardless of your social class and the amount of money you have and opportunity you have, there is nothing that will satisfy your thirst beside the help and the giving water of Jesus Christ. I can promise you that. Many came before you. They have the same boiling dream. You all know how the story ends. You are not different, truly, before God. I'm not saying before men. You might be different before men because you're unique, but before God, you're not different. There's nothing you're going to prove to God that you have not seen before. You can come with your specificity, but at the end, it will look like, it will look like. Thank you, Gabriel and Icon. You can reach me at www.charitymedfoundit.org or angelhmedfoundit.net. On Pinterest, you can get me, YouTube channel as well, MySpace, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and other social media that you potentially have access. You can see information about these videos and stuff. So I wish you best, and I hope that you invite Jesus Christ and God in your personal life. Personally, invite Him in your house, in your office, everywhere you go. He's willing to work with you. Thank you very much, and hasta la vista, au revoir, and bye bye. See you next time. This guy is he's so very funny. I do remember